my name is Ellen, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play This Love by Taylor Swift, Taylor's version, on the guitar, so stay tuned if this is something that you'd like to learn. And before we dive in, I just wanted to take a second to fangirl with the rest of my Swifties out there. How excited are we that 1989 Taylor's version is just around the corner? It's my favorite album of hers, and This Love has always been one of my favorite songs off of that album. It's just beautiful and sounds great on the guitar. So as soon as I saw her announcement this morning that she was going to have it featured in this Amazon Prime movie, I wanted to get this tutorial for you guys out ASAP. So here it is, and with that being said, let's jump into it. Came and brought you in, I could go. Alright, so I'm labeling today's tutorial as a beginner/intermediate for a few reasons, but first of all, let's talk about the basics. You do want your guitar to be in standard tuning with your capo on the 4th fret to match the original key. I only have 4 chords to show you today, which can be used to play through the entire song. Unfortunately, one of them is a bar chord, which is our F chord, but I will show you in the chord section a kind of alternate fingering that you can use to play through this song as well. And after that, I'm going to show you 2 different strumming patterns that I like to use for this song, as well as 2 different picking patterns that sound beautiful with it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the chords. This love is bad, this love is alive, back from the dead. Alright guys, so I've zoomed in a little bit so we can take a closer look at these chords. Like I said, there are only 4 chord shapes you'll need to know for the entire song, and we're going to start with our C chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts that you're seeing on screen, you can always check out my beginner series where I talk about how to read chord charts just like this one. After that, our second chord is our G suspended 4 chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next is our A minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord is our bar chord, which is our F chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Now, as promised, if bar chords are hard for you, you can also do kind of an alternate fingering to make your F look like this, and it'll sound like this. But just keep in mind that if you're going to use this fingering, the picking pattern that I'm going to show you today is not going to work with this. So just keep that in mind. But for strumming, this kind of alternate fingering will work fine. Alright, so if you need to, go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes just to practice memorizing those chord shapes as well as transitioning between them. Transitioning smoothly between chords is always going to be the first step in order to play a song smoothly. So make sure to take the time to do that. But once you have that down, we can go ahead and move into this strumming that I want to show you for this song. Lantern burning, flickered in my mind for only you, but you were still. So those of you who have been around on my channel for a while know that I usually start you out with a simple single down strum, and you're going to do that for every chord change. This is just going to help you familiarize yourself with the song. You want to practice singing through it and doing just the single down strum if you're somebody who struggles with singing and playing at the same time, or things like that. If you need a printable version of how to play the song with all of the chords and lyrics and everything like that, I do have that available on my Patreon page, so make sure to check that out. I will link it in the description box below as well as in this iCard up here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of the strumming patterns that I would actually recommend for your cover. Alright, so as you can see, the first strumming pattern that I would recommend is a down, 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 up pattern, and it's going to sound a little something like this. So now that you've heard the rhythm, let's go ahead and pair that with a chord just so we can kind of hear it and practice it together. So let's put our C chords on, and all you want to do is go down, 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 up. All right, that's the whole pattern. Down, 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 up. Nice. And so what you want to do is throughout the song, you're going to repeat this pattern through sometimes twice, sometimes 4 times, depending on what part of the song that you're in. So let's go ahead and just go through the intro as an example. I'm going to put the chord progressions here on screen. So as you can see, we're going from C to G to A minor to F. And I want you to hold this pattern out 2 times for each of these chords. So it'd look like this. 1, 2, ready, go. down, 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 up twice. G, down, 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 up A minor, twice. F, twice. You got it. This love is good, this love is what, this love is alive, back from the dead. Oh, these hands had to let it go free, and this love came back to me. Whoa. All right, nice. So believe it or not, you can actually apply this strumming pattern for the entire song if you wanted to. You will have to repeat it a few different times depending on what part of the song you're in. So if you're playing the intro, outro, or the chorus, which is what we just practiced through, you would repeat through this twice. But if you wanted to use this strumming pattern during the verses, you would repeat this whole pattern through 4 times for each chord. Now with that being said, the one place that I actually would recommend using this pattern is for the bridge. And so there it's going to be a little bit different because the chords are moving a little bit faster here. So let me go ahead and put the chord progression here on screen. We're going to go from G to A minor to F to C. And what you're going to do is just play this pattern through 1 time for each of those chords. So with our G sus4 on, we're going to go down, 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 up to A minor, down, 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 up to F, down, 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 up to C. And that's how you play the bridge, and that's where I would recommend using this first pattern. So with singing, it'll sound like this. Your kiss, my cheek, I watched you leave. Your smile, my ghost, I fell to my knees. All right, and so that is kind of like my favorite place to put this pattern. But if you're somebody who is just wanting to, start out with strumming, you can use this for the entire song. You just have to repeat it a few different times depending on what part you're playing. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the second strumming pattern. All right, so as you can see, the second strumming pattern is much longer. It's down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, and the whole thing is going to sound like this. Now, those of you with a keen eye might have noticed that the first half of this strumming pattern is actually the previous strumming pattern. So it's strumming pattern 1, but what I wanted to do here is add a little bit more to the tail end. So earlier with our down, 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 up pattern, that's kind of like one measure if you think of it that way. Whereas with this strumming pattern, we're going to be stretching this out across 2 measures. So basically, if we go back to the chorus progression, we've got C, G, A minor, and F. Now, instead of having to repeat a pattern or anything like that, we're just going to play this whole pattern through 1 time for each of these chords. So on our C chord, we would go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right, I know it's super long, so actually let's just stay on our C chord and practice that a few times. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Nice. So definitely pause the video if you need more time to practice that and kind of get that rhythm down. This is a really long strumming pattern, so just make sure you kind of get the rhythm a little bit more under your belt. But once you have that down, we can put the chord progression back in. So again, we have C, G, A minor, F, and we're going to play this whole pattern through 1 time for each of those chords. So on our C, we have down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Then you go to your G suspended 4, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Then we have our A minor, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And then we have our F, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right. So again, if you need to pause and practice that a little bit more on your own, please do so. But once you put that all together without stopping, you'll kind of hear how the song comes together a little bit more. So let's practice that. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. C, down, up, down, 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 up, G, A minor, down, up, down, 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 again, as with strumming pattern 1, you could use this pattern for the entire song if you wanted to. If you wanted to use this during the verses, you would have to repeat this pattern through twice for each of those chords. However, what I actually like to do is use picking for most of the song. So with that being said, let's go ahead and zoom in so I can show you a few really cool sounding picking patterns. Your kiss, my cheek, I watched you leave, your smile, my ghost, I fell to my knees. Alright guys, so I've zoomed in again so we can take a closer look at some of these beautiful picking patterns. I think that they sound pretty good and pretty close to the original song, and they're actually not that hard to play. So before we get started, I just wanted to say that I do like to number my strings. So my low E is my 6th string, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way to my high E. So for this picking portion, I will be referring to these strings with their number. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So starting on our C chord here, what we're going to do is use our thumb on our right hand to cover the bass string, which in this song is either going to be our 6th E string or our 5th A string. Then with your pointer, middle, and ring finger, I want you to put those on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, or D, G, and B strings. All right, so these 3 fingers are never going to move from these 3 strings. They're going to be on there the whole time for all of the picking. Your thumb is going to move between your 6th and your 5th string, depending on what chord you're playing. So if we're starting with our C chord, the bass note in that is going to be our 5th string. So your thumb's going to pick the 5th string, then you're just going to kind of go down the guitar. Thumb, pointer, middle, ring. 5, 4, 3, 2. And that's kind of basically the pattern. So what you want to do is start like that. Then I want you to repeat your 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2 3 times. All right, so the whole thing's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. And that's going to last over that whole chord. Nice, not that bad, right? And so now let's go ahead and move to our next chord, which is our G suspended 4. For this, remember these 3 fingers are still going to be on 4, 3, 2, but we're going to move our thumb to our 6th low E string. Then the pattern is the same, so you're going to go 6, 4, 3, 2, and then repeat 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3 times. So G suspended is... Next, let's go ahead and finish out our chords. For A minor, you're going to take your thumb and put it back on that 5th string, and the pattern is the same. So we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. Again, that's... And then the last chord in this song is our F chord, and for this you're going to move your thumb back to that low E string, that 6th string. But the pattern is the same as all the others. So we have 6, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. So if you look at the pattern on screen right now, you'll see that it's very repetitive. We're basically following the same pattern of playing our D, G, and B strings over and over for each chord, and the only thing that we're changing around is going to be our thumb. So C, G, A minor, F. So hopefully you can kind of already hear how the song is coming together. If you can repeat that for the entire song, I do think it sounds pretty good. I specifically like to use this for the verses. So let me go ahead and just show you a little bit of how that would sound. So on our verse, we're going to start on our F chord, and you would just play this whole pattern through 2 times. Twice. Clear blue water, high tide came and brought you in. I could go on and on and on and on. Skies grew darker, current swept you out again. So you can kind of see how you can apply that to the song. And like I said, it will match for the entire song if you wanted to stick to this picking pattern. However, there are a few little dressy things that you can add really easily to this pattern to make it sound even more beautiful. So let's go ahead and take a look at picking pattern number 2. All right guys, so for picking pattern 2, we're going to stick with exactly what we just practiced with picking pattern 1. So all of that is going to stay the same on screen. But what I'm going to teach you is something really cool, which you can do with your left hand, which are called like hammer-ons, and I call them, flick-offs or lift-offs. I'm not actually sure what the technical term for it is, but basically you're going to be using your first finger or your index finger to kind of change up the way that this sounds. So it'll be better if I just show it to you. So let's put our C chords on. So we just practiced this pattern as 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, right? But notice if you lift off your first finger, it kind of changes the chord a little, right? It kind of has a little bit of that like unfinished kind of sound. We're going to use that to our advantage. So what I want you to do is on the first round of 4, 3, 2, while this is ringing, I want you to flick off your first finger. So if you do this, you can actually make that sound without using your right hand at all. You're just kind of flicking the string. So if you go 4, 3, 2, and while it's ringing, you want to kind of flick off with your first finger. So you see how I did that just with my left hand. All right. If you haven't developed your calluses yet, this is going to hurt a little bit. So just remember to, practice your guitar every day, build up those calluses. So again, the first half is 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, lift. And then here on the next 4, 3, 2, we're going to take our first finger and hammer it back on. So if you get that while it's ringing, you should be able to hammer that on in time so that you can hear the note difference. So we're going 4, 3, 2, and then hammering on with our index finger. All right, so we've got so that's with it all strung together, sounds like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, lift, 4, 3, 2, hammer. All right? And then you would just finish it out by that 4, 3, 2 one more time, okay? So the whole thing's gonna sound like this. One whole little round there. I forgot to mention, I like to use this picking pattern too for like the intro. Anytime that it's kind of like a guitar solo, like an instrumental break or anything like that is where I like to do this more dressy strumming pattern. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at our G suspended 4 chord. What I want you to do for this one is we're gonna start with our index finger lifted off already, okay? So that turns this into just a regular G, all right? What I want you to do is follow the same pattern, but with your index finger started by lifting it off already. So we're gonna go 6, 4, 3, 2. Then on this next little grouping, I want you to hammer on just like we did with C. 4, 3, 2, hammer. All right, so we're using our index finger for that again. All right, so as it's ringing, you want to hammer that on so that it makes a different tone. And then once you're already on there, on the next grouping, you want to lift it off again. 4, 3, 2, off. Like you're flicking it off right there, okay? So again, for G suspended 4, we're going to start with our index finger off. 6, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, hammer. 4, 3, 2, lift. 6, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, hammer, 4, 3, 2, lift. All right, and then again, you just want to finish it out with the other grouping, 4, 3, 2. So G suspended 4 all together without stopping will sound like this. All right, again. on to our A minor chord. So for this, we have a little bit of dressing up to do as well. So it's going to start out the same as we played in picking pattern 1, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then this one's going to follow the C chord. So you're going to start with your index finger and we're going to lift it off on this second grouping. 4, 3, 2, lift. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, lift. And then we're going to hammer it back on the next one. 4, 3, 2, hammer. All right. So A minor is 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, lift, 4, 3, 2, hammer. And then you finish out with that last grouping. All right. So without stopping, A minor is going to sound like this. One more time. All right, so you can kind of see how that follows the C chord, and then to finish it out, your F chord is just going to stay the same as picking pattern 1. 6, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 6, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. So you don't have to add in all of these little dressy hammer-ons and flick-offs and things like that. This is just optional if this is something that you wanted to explore. I do think that it kind of adds a little bit more layering to the guitar and makes it sound a little bit more beautiful. So all together, it'll sound like this without stopping. And then this is where the singing comes in, and for that I would switch back to picking pattern 1. Clear blue water, high tide came and drew you in. I think those are the wrong lyrics, but anyways, you can kind of see how these picking patterns kind of complement each other. But like I said, totally optional to do all of this extra dressy stuff. I do think that it just sounds a little bit better. But if you're somebody who's struggling with picking in general, then go ahead and just stick with the first picking pattern as it's a little bit easier. Alright guys, but now that we've gone through all of the chords, the strumming, and the picking patterns that I would suggest for this song, let's go ahead and put everything together to play through it. Ships, you showed up just in time. This love is good, this love is bad, this love is 1, 2, ready, go. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of the song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box below as well as in this iCard right up here. Alright guys, but that wraps up my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for watching. If it helped, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below as well as subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss out on any other new tutorials. A special shout out goes out to all of my top patrons over on my Patreon page. I will have all of their names listed on screen right now. as well as a huge thank you to all of my patrons for making videos just like this one possible. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun things like behind the scenes looks at things coming up. I'll poll you guys on what you want to learn next, and I'll even do giveaways on there a few times a year, so make sure to check that out. But with that being said, that does end the tutorial, so thank you again so much for watching. I really hope it helped, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!